Now at 5, a small town in Kansas is fighting to keep its local grocery store open.
Former President Donald Trump speaks out the day after becoming a convicted felon. I'm Michael George outside Trump Tower with his response and President Biden's.
Plus, the Girl Scouts tackling a serious mental health concern: loneliness.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Erie, Kansas community is working to keep the lights on in its local grocery store. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. The Erie Market is a city-owned grocery store purchased 3 years ago. The market is struggling to break even, and the possibility of closing is not far off. A group of community members are working to revitalize the market, including purchasing uniforms and name tags, volunteering to stock shelves, and donating funds to purchase new products for the store. The mayor of Erie says they're doing whatever it takes to make the store a valuable asset to the community.
I think that that's been the biggest issue, is learning how to run a store. And that's why I'm here. I want to make this store better, and we're trying to save our little store. So it's been a struggle.
For more details on their efforts the Erie community members have made to save and revitalize the Erie Market, you can visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, it turned out to be a cooler day for us today with the clouds and the showers and a few thunderstorms. 73 was our high. We started at 63 during the morning hours. Average high is 82, so we were a good chunk below where we should be for this time of the year. Now, any scattered showers or thunderstorms that we have out there, they're going to die down tonight. So it looks pretty good. We drop back into the 60s, eventually overnight low 61 degrees, and then we rebound to 69 by 10 a.m. All right, Saturday looks pretty good. High temps near 80. However, thunderstorms, they're going to roll in late tomorrow night and into Sunday morning, and then we're going to have showers and thunderstorms early next week, even a little bit of a severe threat, especially once we get into Monday and Tuesday. So, of course, we're going to break this all down for you and give you all the details here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Missouri American Water presented a check today to the Wildcat Glades Friends Group. The check for $9,500 was made possible thanks to the 2024 Water and Environment Grant. Now, Wildcat Glades Friends Group says it will use the funds to help restore native landscape in and around Wildcat Park to improve water quality and promote immersion in nature.
The money is going to be used for the habitat restoration, which involves a lot of invasive species removal here on the trail, things like winter creeper and Sericea lespedeza, things like that. And then we'll also be bringing in some more trees to go along the bank.
Wildcat Park borders Shoal Creek, which is the primary source of drinking water for the Joplin area. Former President Donald Trump says he will appeal his conviction a day after a New York jury found him guilty of all the charges in his so-called hush money trial. Michael George reports from outside Trump Tower.
Former president and now convicted felon Donald Trump said his team will appeal a New York jury's guilty verdict as he railed against the judge.
We're going to be appealing it on many different things. He wouldn't allow us to have witnesses. He wouldn't allow us to talk. He wouldn't allow us to do anything.
Trump was convicted on all 34 counts of falsifying business records related to a payment his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, made to adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election to keep her quiet about an alleged sexual encounter. Legal experts say her salacious testimony may be one area the defense targets for appeal.
The defense asked for a mistrial right after that testimony, and I think we can expect to see that again in an appellate brief.
As he has throughout the trial, the presumptive Republican presidential nominee once again claimed without evidence the case was orchestrated by his political rival.
This is all done by Biden and his people.
President Biden, who'd remained silent throughout the trial, pushed back Friday, noting it was a state, not federal case.
Donald Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself, and it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
Sentencing is set for July 11th, just days before the Republican National Convention. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Well, the Trump campaign says it raised nearly $35 million in the hours following the verdict. A Minneapolis police officer was shot and killed as he responded to a shooting in what authorities are calling an ambush. Law enforcement officials say 36-year-old Officer Jamal Mitchell was on his way to the scene when he stopped to provide aid to a man who appeared to be a victim. That man instead wound up shooting Mitchell, killing him. Officer Mitchell's parents say they're proud of their son, but they were constantly concerned about his safety.
We always, worried about him when he's out there. It was tough getting that call, to hear yesterday, and but he was always caring about people.
The suspect also died after another officer exchanged gunfire with him. A second police officer and a firefighter were wounded, and 2 civilians were also hurt. According to the Officer Down Memorial page, 60 police officers have been killed across the country this year. Well, still ahead, a mental health solution.
New research is showing how loneliness is impacting kids as young as 5. I'm Jared Hill with how experts say organizations like Girl Scouts can help.
And later in consumer news, inflation is impacting seniors, why some retirees are heading back into the workforce. Topping today's Health Watch, a second human case of H5N1 bird flu is identified in the state of Michigan. This is the 3rd human case associated with an ongoing multi-state outbreak in U.S. dairy cows. Now, none of the 3 cases are associated with the others. As with the previous 2 cases, one in Texas and the other one in Michigan, the person is a dairy farm worker with exposure to infected cows, making this another instance of probable cow-to-person spread. Well, a new study from Sweden shows a possible link between tattoos and a form of cancer called malignant lymphoma. Researchers found people with at least 1 tattoo have the cancer 21% more often than people without any ink. It's not clear why. One theory is a tattoo can cause a low-grade inflammation that triggers cancer. Another is the ink itself gets into the lymph system, which is already known to happen sometimes. And many experts say the study doesn't really show a statistically significant increased risk. And a new study at Stanford Medicine finds gene sequences inherited at conception can predict the type of breast cancer that can develop decades later and how deadly it might be. Researchers believe that new class of biomarkers will help doctors better predict and treat breast cancer tumors. Well, the Girl Scouts is tackling a serious mental health concern. The group conducted research revealing the vast majority of girls, some as young as 5, experience loneliness. Jared Hill reports.
High school sophomore Jola Strayhorn knows firsthand the struggles teens faced coming out of the pandemic.
We all had to get used to speaking to each other, in person and social interactions.
Girls were so isolated. They weren't in schools with each other.
A new survey from Girl Scouts of the USA shows 70% of girls as young as 5 experience feelings of loneliness.
And to know that it grows as they get older, and that also it really impacts their self-confidence.
The survey shows as loneliness increases, confidence drops. But friendship and meaningful connections can empower girls and build resilience. The National Alliance on Mental Illness collaborated with the Girl Scouts on this research.
Kids living in today's society are constantly being inundated with messages, and their ability to step away from all of the information that they're receiving is quite challenging.
Experts say adults should keep an eye out for changes in their child's behavior, sleeping and eating habits, and have open conversations as a family.
If we ignore these behavioral changes, then kids won't be able to get the tools, strategies, and resources that they need in order to cope with some of these challenges.
Girl Scouts of the USA offers a variety of mental wellness programs to support girls. For Jola, she says confidence starts with yourself.
pump yourself up and to give you more confidence so you're able to know that you're like just as good as anybody else.
Being a Girl Scout helps girls form lasting friendships, which the organization says is more important now than ever. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Well, the survey also shows a majority of girls prefer spending less time on screens and instead being creative or spending time with family, something researchers say is worth fostering. And a good night's sleep may have unexpected benefits. A new study finds better sleep health was associated with lower levels of loneliness, especially among younger adults. Researchers are not sure why younger adults experience more benefits, but they say programs for young people that aim to reduce loneliness should include an emphasis on promoting sleep health. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, a new streaming service that allows you to create your own television shows.
Shower. As we go into tomorrow morning, look at our temps, 61, 62 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and then we break out and see partly sunny skies. So by noon, 77 in Chanute, Veneta, 75 Joplin, Cassville sitting at about 73. Once we get into the afternoon, look at this, high temps near 80 degrees across the region. 79 Stockton, 81 in Miami, Chanute up to about 82. So a little bit warmer than what we saw for us today. All right, tomorrow night, watch this. So here's 2 a.m. showers, thunderstorms trying to get in. Now, if some of these can get in, they're going to be strong, possibly low grade severe, but I'm really thinking just strong thunderstorms driving through into Sunday morning. Here's 7:30 in the morning, scattered thunderstorms across the region, and then by noon, they're pretty much out of the area. Once we get into the afternoon, a few additional scattered thunderstorms, high temps mainly into the mid 80s, so it is going to be warm, but overall, not a bad weekend. As we go into Sunday night into Monday, here we go again. More scattered thunderstorms, which are going to try to drive in by Monday morning. So here's your weekend. 80 on Saturday, 84 on Sunday. It's going to be warm. Late night storms Saturday night, and then hit and miss storms as we go into Sunday. Our next severe threat starts to work in by Monday into Tuesday. So let's go into Monday. Here's 11 a.m. Showers and thunderstorms drive in, and then hit and miss storms late Monday. Anything that pops up could be strong to low grade severe. Now watch Tuesday. Here comes a front. It slides in. This will give us additional thunderstorms, and some of those could be strong to possibly severe. So we'll keep our eyes on Monday and Tuesday. 80 on your Saturday, 84 on Sunday, 87 Monday and Tuesday, 88 up to Wednesday. So it really starts to heat up once we get into next week.
All right, a lot going on, that's for sure. Thanks, Doug. Well, up next, a return to the workforce.
Inflation is impacting seniors. I'm Cristian Benavides with why some retirees are heading back into the workforce.
Topping today's Consumer Watch, the high cost of living is forcing some older Americans back into the workforce. CBS's Christian Benavides shows us how one woman went from living out her golden years to back in the office.
All right.
This is not what 74-year-old Jeanette Campbell pictured doing when she retired from teaching 12 years ago. Did you think that you'd be back at work?
Not at all. I thought I would be taking care of my grandchildren, traveling the world.
Instead, she's here, checking emails, making calls, and putting together promotional material for United Home Care, a nonprofit where she has a part-time job. Campbell realized she needed to go back to work when she just couldn't make ends meet.
I couldn't afford to pay my mortgage, and so I didn't want to be left out in the street homeless.
Alina Palenzuela is Campbell's boss.
We shouldn't have to find another job after we retire, but unfortunately, that is what has happened.
A survey by AARP found more than half of Americans aged 50 and older worry they won't have enough money for retirement.
a crisis in confidence.
Dira Venkat is Senior Vice President of Research at AARP.
Among adults yet to retire, 1 in 5 have absolutely no retirement savings.
The survey also found 1 in 4 working adults, 50 and older, expect to never retire, and 70% feel prices are rising faster than their income.
Why this is happening is, one, the lingering effects of inflation. The second aspect is housing. And a third that we are noticing is the rise in debt levels.
Campbell says being back at work has given her a new sense of purpose, but she doesn't see ever being able to fully retire. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Well, the new free tax filing service is here to stay. The Internal Revenue Service says its direct file program will now be permanent. The service debuted for the 2024 tax season in 12 states and was available for people with simple W-2 forms. The agency says it hopes to roll out the service to all 50 states in time for the next tax season. The IRS says more than 140,000 people used the program, with more than $90 million in refunds claimed. Consumer Reports continues to raise awareness about plastic chemicals in foods, and this time it's calling out General Mills again. The advocacy group sent a petition yesterday with more than 30,000 signatures. The group is urging the company to address, quote, high levels of potentially hazardous plastic chemicals in its food. The report says some of the foods tested contain phthalates. Studies have shown the chemical can lead to a higher risk of diabetes, certain cancers, and cardiovascular disease. Well, a new streaming services library includes anything you can imagine. Fable Studio launches Showrunner, a service powered by artificial intelligence that creates TV shows and allows users to make their own. The company says the platform writes, voices, and animates a variety of shows while also allowing users to control any aspect of the show they want to watch. Fable first debuted its technology by creating an episode of South Park with its AI. Well, final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the long-awaited rocket launch into space. We're watching the Boeing Starliner mission that has astronauts on board for the first time. And then on KOAM News at 6, authorities arrest a Joplin man following a four-wheeler pursuit. Plus, Granby, Missouri officials cut the ribbon on a new City Hall location. And the Joplin Outlaws kick off a homestand after a rainy home opener. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6.
All right, any showers that we have out there for us now, these are going to dissipate tonight. 80 for a high on Saturday, so a pretty good day, partly sunny skies. 84 on Sunday. We are going to have some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the morning and then popping up again late in the day. Chances stick around on Monday and Tuesday, but look at our temperatures next week, mid to upper 80s for highs.
Good thing we'll have that window on Sunday. Well, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6, and we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.